We are beginning a new message series today about the family. Thought I'd just sit for a second while I get started here. Our new message series is called Family Portraits. And just a couple of things on that as we look over the next few weeks about the family. You think about all the different scenes around your home. You've got family portraits. Most of them are probably good. How many of you had some bad family portraits? You're like, okay, we're going to put that in the basement to scare away the spiders. So anyway, over the next several weeks, we're going to be talking about the family, what it looks like, what God's design is for the family. And in the back, if you hadn't seen already, we've got a station set up where you can get your family pictures taken. We encourage you to do that after the worship service, before the worship service, but not during, because, there's a message to be heard. So if you want to afterwards, get your family picture taken. Joyce is also, I think you're going to be available to take pictures because we want to update our Realm profile as well. But if you take a picture, would you hashtag it on Facebook, HC Christ? Pretty simple, HC Christ, is that right? HC Christ. If you would hashtag HC Christ, that way we see that, we can kind of celebrate that together, okay? So this series is going to be for the people you love the most and for the people maybe who annoy you the most. It'll be a series that is for those who make you laugh the hardest and with whom you probably fight the hardest. Family. Family is difficult. Family is, some are big, some are small, some are good, some are troublesome, but very difficult to make a good family really function well. Winston Churchill, you probably know this quote, he once said, "We shall fight on the beaches, we shall fight on the landing grounds, we shall fight in the fields and in the streets, we shall fight in the hills." If this reminds you of your last family vacation, then this sermon series is for you. I just want to acknowledge too that not everyone present, watching online, has a family unit, so to speak. Maybe you're not married, or you were, and your husband or wife has been deceased. Maybe you don't have children, but I want to let you know this series is for everybody, even if you are single, because we are part of God's family. The church is God's family, and so the principles that we're going to be sharing, I want you to think about, if you're single, or even all of us really, think about how I could apply these principles even to the church. How do I interact with others as Christian people, okay? I think that'll help as we go along. So everybody's included. We don't want you to tune out just because you're single or anything, but everyone's included, and we just want to make sure you know that, all right? Several years ago, magazine Campus Life ran a story. Here's how it went. This is good. And you may have heard this before, so if you have, please just laugh, make me feel good about myself sharing. Anyway, it started with Rent a Wife. Have you heard this? Rent a Wife. A small Petaluma, California company created by Karen Donovan to help clients decorate their homes, balance checkbooks, run errands, and so on and so forth. Donovan, who launched her business through a small ad in the local newspaper, is already thinking big after 4 months of operation. She wants to hire her father to initiate Rent a Husband and her 2 teens to start Rent a Family. "We can do what any family does," the newfangled entrepreneur joked. "We can come over and eat all your food, turn on all the lights, put handprints on the walls, take showers and leave towels on the floor. When clients are finished with Rent a Family, they'll have to call Rent a Wife." Thank you for laughing. One thing is certain and that we know, and that is families are important. Families are important. It's who we are. It's where we come from. Without our family, we wouldn't be who we are today. Some are good, some are bad, and I just pray that every one of us has grown up in a good family, and if not, I hope to encourage you throughout this series. We're going to look at what God has to say. And right now, just go back to Genesis chapter 2. At the beginning of time, in Genesis chapter 2, verse 18, it says, "Then the Lord God said, 'It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper corresponding to him.'" Down in verse 24, a few verses later, it says, "This is why a man leaves his father and mother and bonds with his wife, and they become one flesh." Now, I want you to notice 2 things here. Number one, family is God's idea. Family is God's idea, so blame him. No, don't do that. But God instituted the family, right? He brought it together. It will always be around because the family is the building block of society. Without family, we don't have society. Okay, so God instituted the family. Number two, God made us to be in relationship with other people, with one another. Adam, remember at the beginning of time, Adam had everything he needed. And what did God do? He came along and he said, you know what? This is not good. It's not good for man to be alone. And so God creates Eve, and what's he say next? Now it's good. So God made people for people. All right, so that's two just simple things I want to clear up right up front as we jump into this series. God instituted the family, and he's created us to be in relationship with one another. Okay, maybe for some family, I hope not in here watching online, but maybe for some of you, family is as simple as it's just a bed and breakfast. I hope not. Maybe it's an economic necessity for you just to live together, or a tax break, or maybe it is just a way station for sleeping and eating. I hope that's not the case, because what we learn in the Bible is that God says there is so much more in my plan for your family. And that's what I want to discover over the next few weeks. And so I want to give you this morning just four simple ideas, what family is for, what God has instituted family for. And if you're taking notes, here's the first one. Number one, a family is to be a shelter in the storms, a shelter in the storms. There's no doubt that your family will go through the storms of life. They happen. Some of you may be in the middle of a storm right now. You're struggling financially. Maybe your relationship is stale. Maybe your spouse wants to leave you. Maybe you want to leave your spouse. Maybe there are some health issues you're struggling with. We go through all kinds of storms in life. And the family, especially a Christian family, ought to be the one place where we can find protection, stability, and security. Proverbs 14:26 says, in the fear of the Lord, one has strong confidence, and his children have a refuge. A refuge. So is your home, is your family a place of refuge? Is your home a secure place for your children, for your husband, for your wife, for even your friends that you invite over to spend time with you? Is it a place of refuge where people can find strength in times of storm? There are a lot of different types of storms that pop up in life. I want to give you just three types of storms that happen in life, very generically here. But first of all, we go through change. A storm that pops up in life all the time in families is change. We constantly are going through changes, aren't we? Graduations, jobs, relocations, illnesses, deaths, this sport, that sport, on and on. There's a lot of change. So there needs to be a place that no matter where the house is, there is a family inside that I know I can count on. It ought to be a safe place, right? Psalm 18:2 says, the Lord is my rock, my fortress, my deliverer, my God, my rock where I seek refuge. My shield and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold. And so if our family is centered around God as our rock, then God can hold us steady in those times of change that come our way. I pray the Lord is the center of your life, the center of your family, so you can get through changes. Another type of storm is failure. I'll give you some bad news this morning. It's a tough lesson to learn, but here's the bad news. We can't always be winners in life, can we? I always found it frustrating when our kids were growing up. They got trophies for everything. I don't know what the concept was, but you play you play a whole season of soccer, and at the end of the season, everybody got a trophy. Like, we didn't win one game. What's the trophy for? We've created a generation of winners, so to speak, but I'm telling you, you can't be a winner all the time. Sometimes we do lose. Sometimes we get turned down for the promotion at work. Sometimes we fail a test at school. Sometimes we don't get into the college we want to get into. Sometimes we don't make the team. Sometimes our team has a losing season, especially if you're a Cleveland Browns fan. Sometimes Dolphins, right, too, Todd? Sometimes things don't go as planned, do they? We fail. Failure happens. But we could handle a lot of failure in life if we could come home and find a shelter in that storm. Ecclesiastes 4, many of you are familiar with it, says, 2 are better than 1 because they have a good reward for their efforts. For if either falls, his companion can lift him up, but pity the one who falls without another to lift him up. So family members are fans even when we have a losing season. So we can get through failure. The last type of storm is rejection. Rejection. This is probably the most difficult storm to handle, possibly. It's what leads to divorce and disjointed families and kids not feeling like they fit in, things like that. No one wants to be rejected. No one wants to be put down or ridiculed or criticized. I came across a U.S. News and World Report article from last year, 2024. This is sad. They reported the suicide rate among kids ages 8 to 12, is rising at a rate of 8% per year. Our kids are in trouble. And they say it's especially among girls, 8 to 12 years old. Why is that? I don't think it takes a genius to figure this out. Someone rejected them. Someone made fun of them. And maybe they didn't know that family was supposed to be there for them. Maybe they forgot that family is supposed to be this shelter in a time of storm. Maybe they didn't have that kind of family where they actually could go to for that kind of support in their storm. Rejection, that's tough. If you're not doing it now, help your family become a shelter in times of storm. Please. Everyone in your family needs that. We need each other. We need someone who can care for us. Have that in your family, right? I'm going to give you a response to each one of these. So the response to having a shelter in time of storm is to demonstrate my love. My responsibility when storms, or any time really, is to demonstrate my love. I need to love my family. How? I'll give you 3 H's. I don't have blanks in your notes, but if you want to write this down, I've got 3 H's. Pretty easy. Hear, hug, and help. Hear, hug, and help. That's pretty simple, right? So hear, listen to their hurts, listen to their feelings, just hear them. Hug them, give them appropriate touch. Your kids need hugs, folks, I'm telling you. Husbands, your wives need a hug. Wives, your husband needs a hug. I mean, seriously, we need appropriate touch in the family. And then help, lend a hand, figure out how you can help each other out.